Hi, my name is Paul Ginsberg, and I'm going to be talking to you about cross-filter reporting on Salesforce for about the next 15 minutes. Cross-filters can help anyone, from the power user to the solo admin, as well as any metrics guru. For the purposes of this walkthrough, you will need to already be familiar with how to create a basic report. Okay, so I'll be telling you what cross-filters are, give you some examples of how they can be used, and then run through a demo. One thing to bear in mind, cross-filters are a standard feature of Enterprise, Performance, Unlimited and Developer editions, and are available in both Classic and Lightning interfaces. They are not available in other editions, but you can start working with them even if you only have a single Enterprise license. So, now on screen we have Salesforce's official definition from their help pages. Salesforce say, use cross-filters to include or exclude records in your report results based on related objects and their fields. Personally, that's all a bit double Dutch. Here's my definition. I say cross-filters are a great way to connect divided data within Salesforce reporting. Now I just have to prove this to you. At this point, I think it would be useful if I set the scene and very briefly describe a standard report. Normal reports are based on one object alone, for example, accounts, or contacts, or opportunities, or two objects with a parent-child relationship between them. For example, accounts with contacts, contacts with cases, opportunities with products. You can even add a child object to the existing child object, but that's not what this talk is about. The question is, can they do this? Well, a normal report can't show you data from a third related object. Cross-filters can't do that either. But what they can do is show you the influence of a third related object. On this Venn diagram, I'm highlighting the influence of that other object. Each section can be influenced by the cross-filter. This section, this section, this section, the whole thing, or even excluding those sections. One thing I must point out is that you can't display data from the other object. You can just show their influence. So anything just in the green will not show. Let's run through a few examples. First, we have accounts with or without contacts. This enables you to see which accounts do or do not have any contacts. Next, we have accounts cross-filtered with accounts with opportunities. This would allow you to see which accounts have had any opportunities, and you can filter it to only see certain types of accounts, or those that haven't had any recent opportunities. We're now going to run through a few more examples. So the next one focuses on the slightly underappreciated campaigns object. We've got contacts cross-filtered with contacts with campaign history. Here you can deduplicate your reports before sending out mailings. For example, to exclude people who have already received a recent mailing. This works because the report is only showing contacts, not the campaign information, as that only appears in the cross-filter. It means contacts are only shown once, hence its usefulness. My final example is contacts with cases, cross-filtered with contacts with campaign history. It's probably worth noting that contacts with cases is a custom report type. This enables you to see where there are any correlations between marketing campaigns or events and people that have logged support issues or requests for new features. It will also allow you to see those who don't engage with your support team so much. I'm now going to switch to Salesforce to run that demo, so you can see cross-filters in action. You can see that it uses the classic interface, but in terms of configuring cross-filters, there is currently minimal difference. It's the same whether you are using Classic or Lightning. The scenario is that we're working in a support department and we've recently run a marketing campaign to try to persuade our customers to log their calls directly online rather than by phone. First, we've got on screen a report I created earlier. It's a simple report. You'll see that there are no filters whatsoever. It's showing contacts with cases and it's based on all time. Contacts with cases, all contacts, all time. So let's run the report. You'll see that there's 41 records. So that means 41 cases with a mixture of case origins, some web, some phone. Let's go and edit that report and see cross filters in action. So now we're going to do the magic. We go to filters and press on the small down arrow. You've never noticed this button before, but it's there. There you go, cross filters. Click on that, and then you get this whole yellow area appearing. Here's the cross filter of which we spoke. The first drop down arrow lets you select the primary object for the filter. The third drop down arrow lets you select the other related list. It has to be related to the first object that you have selected. So in this context, we have contacts with activities, or campaigns history, or contacts with cases, or contacts with opportunities. There's plenty more, as you can see. We're going to choose campaign history because we want to see the effect of the campaign on cases. Okay, so we click OK. We're in the preview screen, so we press Run Report. And now you'll see we've only got 32 records. So that's 32 of these contacts have campaigns related to them. Let's go and just prove the point. We're going to Andy's record. Here we are in Andy's record. And yep, he's got a couple of campaigns related to him. The same is true for the other 32 records. I misspoke slightly earlier. Here I'd highlight that it's 32 case records, so some contacts may feature more than once. Okay, so let's just edit the report and see everyone without any campaign history records. Customize. Edit. Change the with to without. Press OK, run the report. And this time we'll see that the 41 total records minus the 32 records which we saw in the previous screen now leaves only 9 records. We can do the same proof if we go to Josh Davis. We should see that he's got no campaign records, and that's correct. And that would be correct for the other records that we can also see on this screen. It's great because it shows you that there are contacts that have missed out on marketing and mailings. That you can pass to the marketing department and let them proceed. So one demo I'm not going to do, but you can do as an exercise for you at home or in the office. It might be worthwhile recreating a report like this, just with contacts and with 2 cross filters. One with contacts with cases, so you pick up only those that are login cases, and the second cross filter being contacts without campaign history, so you only pick up those that haven't received marketing. This is a great example of data influencing the main report but not being seen. This way you have just had your contacts shown without any need to deduplicate. You can actually have up to 3 cross filters on any one report. However, you cannot use them in all scenarios. They are always and, as in they combine with each other for their effect. Right, let's get back to the demo. We haven't quite finished yet. The data that we're currently seeing could be misleading because it's focusing on all campaigns. If only there was a way to specify exactly which campaign you wanted to cross-filter on. So let's go back to let's press Edit, Edit, and then go back to with campaign history. First of all, what I need to show you is this is the campaign that we want to particularly analyze. So we go back to creating the report, and here we've got the Add Campaign History filter. So we'll click on that, and in this list, you can see that it contains a whole series of fields. Actually, these fields are all from campaign history, this object up here. We particularly want campaign name, and these are all the filters which we can filter on. Campaign name equals, put that in the computer memory, paste it, press OK, press Run Report, and this time we'll see that there's 21 records. We've now got people that have received the campaign, which was Log Your Case Online 2016. And here's the moment of truth. Everyone was logging their cases by phone of those particularly targeted contacts. But on the 26th of April onwards, They started logging it by web and haven't turned back. I wonder what date the campaign was sent out. We have a look here. The campaign was sent out on the 26th of April. So this is possibly one of the most effective campaigns of all time. Here we have proved a strong correlation between the marketing effort and the impact on the support people. But cross filters are more powerful than even that. If we pop back to customize and pop back to edit, we added one sub filter. However, you can add up to 5. For instance, there's another one here, which is start date. And this gives us a choice of equals, not equal to, less than, greater than, or less or equal to. And here we can actually put in plain text. It's the same as the filters that you use in normal reporting. So, for instance, if we have this year, we press OK and press Run Report, start date equals this year. Actually, it's had no impact because of the other criteria that we're using, but it proves what you can do. And it's probably useful to also highlight, just at this stage, that although we use campaign name equals log your case online 2016, we could have had does not equal or contains. My personal recommendation is that if you use does not equal, that you sanity check any results because it might have unintended consequences. Okay, so that largely concludes my talk. However, it's probably useful to recap and just highlight the limitations. There's a maximum of 3 cross-filter reports. There's a maximum of 3 cross-filters per report, although you can have up to 5 lines of sub-filters. You can't see fields from the cross-filtered object. When you want to dig in deeper into the data, you'll have to create a new report based on that cross-filtered object to see those extra details. Filter logic can be used within the report, but not on the cross-filters themselves nor their sub-filters. Lastly, this is only available in Enterprise, Performance, Unlimited, and Developer editions. That said, it will work on tabular, summary, matrix, or even joined reports. So, want to know more? Together with Salesforce Ben, I provided and produced a guide covering this same topic with a few more examples thrown in. Also, less stuttering. This will allow you to walk through this area at your own pace. You can subscribe to his newsletter, which has topical items about Salesforce news, developments, and also the occasional dive into features, just like I've done today. To be honest, there's not a lot more out there, which is why I came up with the idea for this article and video in the first place. I've also listed some of the better resources. Those are on screen for you to click on and investigate further should you wish. Thank yous go to you for listening, and to the London Admin User Group and Cloud Genius in particular for all their support and advice during the creation of this talk. Other user groups are available, and I recommend you look them up on Meetup or Google Success User Groups to discover the awesome and supportive communities out there. Also, thanks go to a very wonderful charity called the RSA for helping me and requiring me to stretch my knowledge of Salesforce reporting in the first place. Any errors are my own. Thank you.